Merry Christmas! We have got the Act on This TV community manager, Lee Petcher. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. We went out afterwards and you had just split up with your girlfriend.
Yeah, I got really pissed.
Yeah.
I ended up going back.
You changed my life. You turned me vegan. I don't know if you know that.
I do know, yeah. I'm responsible for Petch being vegan.
I have this thing, I think Ross instilled it in me, is if you talk about something 3 times on different occasions, it means you really want to do it. And then I started listening to your podcast and I was like, right, that's it. I'm the biggest vegan you will ever meet.
No, it's almost like I've had 10 years in 6 months.
Yeah.
It's been unbelievable this year.
Doesn't it just show what can happen in a year?
Thank you.
Thank you, because I wouldn't have done any of it without you either.
Why'd you never thank me like that?
I always
Here we go.
thank you.
The first one of these that you did, I remember you saying, I do it all on my own, Matt.
No, I was talking about. I've got a question actually. Part of this, maybe my insecurity talking. But have we disappointed you both?
Ross, you're not like the most...
Oh, wow! I've never ever had like any thoughts or anything like that, but it was the time I remember thinking, I'm not bothered if I wake up tomorrow. And when I say that now, it literally is like I don't recognise that person.
I hate it when I don't know how to put this in a way that sounds kind, but like,
You know, I'm the same as Ross. Don't do fucking videos. Jesus Christ. Hey everybody and welcome back to the show. Merry Christmas. This is our Christmas edition of Success School, so we thought we'd do something a little bit different. Yes, I've got sparkling antlers on my head if you're watching on YouTube. Yes, they jingle and you probably can hear them. You can hear them, I can hear them. I feel like all I can hear is lots of jingling going on. But welcome. We're doing something a little bit special again. If you are a regular listener of this show, you'll know we've had a couple of episodes we've done in recent months with my good friend, Ross Grant. Welcome back to the show.
ding dong merrily on high.
There we go.
Merry
We've
Christmas,
also
everybody, to
got
the show.
Success School community manager, Helen Hill in the house.
Hello.
Come on, give it some freaking hell. It's Christmas. God, well, might not be on much longer. I'm going to kick her off. Give it some Christmas bloody spirit, Helen. We've got
Hello.
Helen, everybody. Hello.
Merry Christmas,
Hello.
everybody.
And we're doing something, we're going one step even better. We're sprinkling it with some absolute stardust. We've also, this week, we're doing a proper merger, Success School meets Act on This TV, because we have got the Act on This TV community manager, Mr. Lee Petcher. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Happy holidays, everyone.
Big
There
up,
we go.
Big up, Petch.
Happy holidays. So basically, the format is as it always is when we get together. There's no plan. So anything could happen. It could be really, really, really good or really, really shit.
It's going to be great. It's going to be the best one yet. This is the third. This is the completion of the trilogy.
Yeah. So, I mean, one thing I do want to do this episode, I guess, is just reflect on the year. And I'd love us to just be able to share, like, what have been some of the lessons, some of the highlights that we've had this year. So let's start off with the Act on This, boys. Talk to us. What have been some of the real wins you've had this year?
Oh, you know what? We've just come back from, hence we've got the gear on, our Christmas meetup. Mm-hmm. We host a Christmas meetup, well, obviously a Christmas meetup once a year, but we host meetups all the time, monthly, but we do them in person just once a quarter. The other monthly meetups are online. And I'm just buzzing after the chats we've had today. I was just saying to you before we hit record that it just the energy and the optimism for 2026. Obviously, people get optimistic about a new year every single year, but over the 15 years of me doing this and running a community of actors, I know there'll be people watching this that aren't actors, but I just feel that, I don't know, there's something in the air where after what's probably been a tough year across the board for many businesses this year, there is a lot of optimism in the air for 2026. So one of my highlights of the year was just basically what we've just done.
Just now? Just today?
It just happened.
Love it.
Basically. But yeah,
It's not over till it's over.
No, there's still plenty to play for. Even if you're watching this on Christmas Day, you've still got a few days of 2025 left to change the game. But yeah, overall, but it's been a really good year for us. It has been. It's definitely been tougher from a business perspective because I think there's been, a few things against businesses that I'm not going to get into politically, but we can't, not at Christmas. But yeah, it's a challenging environment for all businesses, all small businesses. Like there's only 3 of us on the team. There's me, there's Petch, there's another guy. who kind of works part-time for us, but we're the two full-timers. And I feel that we've had to work so hard this year to ultimately, and this is a win though, this is genuinely a win, to ultimately stand still, because we had a cracking year. 23 was massive for the community that we run. 2021 was big, 2022 grew, 2023 was huge, 2024 there was a slight decline in business. I think that was when our industry had taken a few hits with the writers' strikes, and things had happened within our industry that just meant TV had slowed down, and that's kind of crept into this year. But we've basically been determined not to decline, I guess, again this year after a year where there was a slight drop last year, and we've almost done it. Like, as in, we're so close to basically just having pretty much stood still. But I think that's a win in a year when so many businesses that I've seen have unfortunately had another decline, year on year.
I also think years like this are super important, because what they do is they sometimes remind you to go back to the basics, get back in the weeds and do the hard work as well. I think when you're having good years in business, it's very easy to get complacent and forget to do the stuff that got you there in the first place. It also forces you to be forward thinking, be innovative, and try and think, okay, what do we need to look at differently? What, something that worked last year might not be working this year. Yep. So what is the thing? Petch, you've worked with Ross for how many years?
Too many years.
How many years is it?
I think I started fully with you 2016, so almost 10 years now.
10 years.
So the main reason we want Petch here is to tell us the absolute truth.
Okay.
What is it like being community manager and Act on This? And most importantly, what is it like dealing with Ross? And in fairness, we can ask the same for Helen.
Yes.
We want truth, we want honesty, because I think that's one thing I want for this show. There's a lot of business owners, there's a lot of people building businesses, building teams. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it to help you out here, Ross. But I think it's really important that we do talk openly about what it takes to build businesses, but also serve communities of hundreds, and you've got nearly 1,000 people in the membership.
1,200 in total in the membership. Yeah,
1,200. Yeah. As a very small team, as a small business, it's not an easy thing to do.
It's
shut up, Ross.
So
We're going
hard.
to Petch.
Go on, Petch.
We're not allowing you answer.
I'll drink my eggnog. You crack on, Petch.
Yeah, you crack on. So I'll answer your first question first. What is it like to be community manager of Act on This? It's a good job. I love it. It's amazing.
Correct answer, Petch. Correct answer.
I'm going to put tape on his mouth. He's panicking.
Exactly, he is. I started, similar to Helen, I started as a member of Act on This. And I went through a really hard, difficult time at one moment, and Ross was like, move to Manchester. I just spoke with my ex. Move to Manchester. There's loads going on. I was like, at least I've got one friend in Manchester. He didn't see me for a year.
Busy. He's running a business.
I got time, pal.
Can we meet up for a brew? No, mate, I'm too busy. So I went away on tour, and then I did Bulletproof Actor the first time we did Bulletproof Actor.
Yeah,
the mindset call.
I think you might have been on that.
Doing it, yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and then it wasn't until I came back to Manchester after being on tour, and Ross was like, I need somebody to do news articles for me. Do you fancy doing it? I was like, yeah, £5 a news article. Brilliant. Made me go in debt, £1,200, because I had nothing to do.
This was a lesson, though, because I think this is a useful lesson for people in business, right? Petch came to me and was like, I wanted to get him out of the bank. Were you in the bank at that point?
No, I was in Sports Direct.
Even worse, right? I wanted to get him out.
No offence.
No offence to Mike Ashley or whoever owns Sports Direct. But I worked in retail for 11 years before I set up my own business, and it was grueling. And for most people will relate to this if they are entrepreneurial. You're in a job that there's no shade on people who want to work in retail. I think, people who dedicate themselves to it and they become incredible managers, area managers, regional managers, CEOs of companies. It's an incredible route, but I knew it wasn't for me. And it's not for a lot of creators and a lot of actors. And I knew Petch, as an actor, would not want to just spend his whole life in retail. I was like, I want to get you out, but I can't afford to I don't have enough money in my business back then to just give you a full-time wage. So how can you kind of meet me halfway so that you can be doing stuff for me so I can then take time out from doing some of that stuff to do some more of this to make money. So eventually transition you into the business. And I said, write these news articles for me in the acting industry. Like, news comes out every day of a new commission or an actor
a new cast member.
Yeah, a new cast member joining a show, something like that. And it draws people to the site. So people come to the site for the news and then maybe they get involved in the membership. That's what I thought back then. We can talk about that later. It doesn't work like that. Simplify your business. Don't be everything to everybody. But I was like, I need someone to write these so I can focus on other stuff. You're going to need a computer, Petch. It's like, I don't have a computer. I was like, well, I can't buy you one. So he was like, you've been taught never to get in debt, haven't you? And like, don't take out credit cards and things like that. And I was like, right.
Which a lot of people are taught.
Don't spend money that isn't your own.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with this to a certain extent, unless, I wouldn't take a credit card out to go on holiday. That's not a good investment. But to buy a MacBook, there was one knocking around here before, that will pay you dividends if you use it for your work, your creative work, your acting. You can edit your videos on it, your show reels and stuff like that, but also do work for me. It's going to pay for itself. So I was like, I'll give you, drove a hard bargain, £5 a news article, right? And maybe you can do 3 in a day, so it's £15 a day, but you're going to need to buy this computer. So I made him we went to home theatre, and I think I made you get a Barclay card. Did you have a Barclay card, or did I make you get one?
I already had a Barclay
He had a Barclay card. And I was like, right, put this laptop on it, £1,200. And effectively what I was saying, if you do the work, I'll pay it off for you. Because I'll be giving you your £15 a day or whatever. You can pay your minimum on it each month so you don't get loads of interest. And then I feel that was a lesson, Petch, where you were like, oh, hang on a minute.
Petch, do you think it was a good lesson? Are you glad you were taught that lesson?
I think it was a good
Ross,
thing.
I said Petch.
Invest in something useful to earn more money. Like, what do you think, Petch?
Remember how you said, "Boy, it's like working for Ross"? I'll get onto that in a second.
Sorry.
Was it a good? Was it a good lesson? Do you know what? Yes, yes, it was. It took me out of my comfort zone, and I learned from that. And I feel like I still struggle with the money mindset, especially now after everything that's happened this year, and that's beside the point. But I am more open to taking risks and investing in myself and in things that would progress me and my career and the business going forward. Like recently I've just bought a new set of mics because I know it's going to really help with self-tapes and us doing podcasts in the future and things like that. So I'm not adverse to spending money that isn't mine on things that I know I'm going to get a return on. But that's the lesson that I should have had from my dad, rather than don't spend money that isn't your own.
And I think most of us, and obviously being from Bradford and so on, the north of England, that is quite a common thing. And it's always, or usually is mostly from a good place. It's a place of people looking out for you and fear. But as we know, it's not always the right advice and always the best advice. No. So bringing us on to what it's like working with Ross, because he's tried his best to avoid it.
Well, yeah,
But I think it's the reason I'm asking is because coming back to the point I said earlier about running a business and a community on this level is hard. It's not easy.
No.
And Ross, I know you've openly said on this show before, you are a bit of a perfectionist. You like things doing a certain way.
Yep.
So then bringing on team members and them, navigating that is a tough thing. And I think there's lessons within how you navigate it.
Yeah. So just quickly going back to that story of him making me get out that laptop, and then a couple of months later, he was like, "Petch, will you follow me around with the camera?" Because he's wanted,
because he thought it was Gary Vee.
I was doing a little Gary Vee. I was like, I need a D-Rock. Petch, will you be my D-Rock?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until a bit further on that he brought me onto the site, and the wrap up to that was seeing members get so much success from advice that Ross and now that I can give them as well. It's unbelievable, and that's something that I've always wanted to do. I remember meeting Ross at a Surviving Actors.
It's called Surviving Actors, an expo.
And at that point, I was like, I'm going to work for him one day. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I'm going to work for him one day. So when I moved to Manchester, it was like, no, I'm too busy. I was like, okay.
But it's not today.
It's not today. But what is it
manifesting.
Like? What is it like working with Ross? It's interesting to see behind the curtain. I've only ever known Ross before this point as super Mr. Motivator, Mr. Super Positive, and it's easy to compare yourself to that as an actor who's potentially struggling in their career right now. It's like, yeah, it's so easy for you, Ross. You've got all these contacts. You always look on the bright side of stuff. You're always Mr. Positive. And seeing it from behind the curtain, and Ross is probably going to completely argue against this, he won't. It's nice to see that he has the same struggles.
Oh, God, yeah.
And he just doesn't show that to people. And it's kind of reinforcing, like, if you can deal with all the stuff that you're dealing with and all the the crap that the industry is throwing at you as well. And yes, you do have the contacts, but you work damn hard to get those contacts. If you're struggling with all that, then it's perfectly normal and acceptable for everybody else in the acting industry to deal with that as well. I think working with Ross closely now on the site and the editing and stuff like that, it is frustrating. I'm not going to lie. Like, Petch, can you move that a pixel? Yeah, mate, I've done that. Then he'll go,
1% better.
but then he'll go, Petch, have you moved it a pixel? I said, yes, mate.
And
And he'll look.
yeah, and
I'll
I can't even tell. I go,
go-
well, if you said yeah, it feels better for me now.
But can you move it one more pixel up? Oh yeah, no, that's too much. Oh, but the thing is, Matt, sometimes just for my own sanity, I won't do it.
And I'll probably just go, yes, that looks
And
better.
then tell him
Petch.
you have.
Yeah.
That looks better. This is the sort of
Ross,
level
you
of,
need to look at this.
the level of detail I'm working at, though. I genuinely
Yeah, but you don't
believe-
even know. When he lies to you and says it's done, you think it's
It's
done.
because it's remote and I'm visually impaired, so I just have to trust him.
It's-
He's saying, oh, I'm hitting your mic. I'm ripping his mic away. He's taking advantage of a disabled man. That's what he's doing. He's going, he's visually impaired, he won't even
It's
know.
not. It's not Ross.
I think the thing I do find frustrating sometimes is because it is your business, it is your baby, and you can love your business more than anybody else can love your
Definitely.
business.
And I'd never expect you to
And I
be
love
as
your
invested.
business.
Yeah.
I do. I came on board because I truly believe in our goal and our message out there to actors and what we do. I think it's bloody fantastic. I don't sell things. I'm not a seller, but I will sell Act on This to anybody because I think it truly is amazing.
Cheers, Petch.
What I do find frustrating, because you are such a perfectionist, is you like to micromanage sometimes.
I've always struggled with it. I find it very difficult to let go
Completely
of some
let
of the
go.
control. Like a lot of the time, to us, what I, in terms of working with you for so long now, though, I find it a lot easier because you have put up with all of that. Move it a pixel. Move it a pixel.
You don't know how easy you've got it. That's all I'm thinking.
And now he's not even doing it.
No, I do.
But
Honestly,
what I
we're gonna swap for a week.
that'd be interesting.
She'll
wouldn't it?
come. She'll come running back.
Holiday. I could do with a holiday, Matt.
What I
literally.
find though is there's nobody who knows the work like you do now. So I feel that if anybody, you've got more trust from me than anybody else. I literally trust Petch with logins to everything that could basically, if he wanted to, Petch, could
Don't
literally
be giving
delete the
him
business.
ideas. Yeah.
You could, you have the administrator logins for everything. Now that is that's a big deal for me to go. I'm just going to give control of my entire business ultimately.
Whereas the opposite is
To
with me.
somebody.
The minute someone meets me, I give them that.
Yeah, Matt just goes, here you go.
I go, just
fine.
do your best.
Yeah,
I
this
can't
is
give you
all right.
everything.
But what has been really good is that I feel now you just get it, and that's through the investment of time that we've put into it. And what I would like to do really is if we brought another team member on, I don't think I would need to micromanage them because I would just make you in charge of them. But because you already know through working with me what it is that I want, and then that would free me up, to do even more stuff and work more on the business than in it. So yeah, I think for me, letting go a little bit is something I've always had to work on forever. Probably will forever. And when you're bringing people on board, what if people are trying to build teams? I think what's valuable to realize, or what I've experienced, is sometimes like with Harvey. So the editor who's probably going to be editing this, shout out to Harvey.
Yep.
I've been
Be
working
kind
with
to
him
him.
recently because Matt put me in touch with him to edit some YouTube videos. Me and Petch have been shooting YouTube content that we just shoot, and I don't want to give that Petch to edit because he's got enough on his plate. So giving it to Harvey. Initially, when you're teaching someone else how you want to work, it's actually going to slow your business down. People think if I bring someone on, I'll be faster. You won't. For 3 months, you're likely to be far slower as you're getting someone on board to the way that you work. Because Harvey never worked with me before. I couldn't expect him to know exactly how I want things edited or the way I want things laid out. Or Harvey moved that a pixel. He knows as well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But you
he
know what
does.
Harvey started saying now? I saw something the other day. He said, mate, I've started doing this for all my clients now. So then he's going to be 1% better for every other video that he does. And I do think it matters. Honestly, I do think it matters having that tiny attention to detail.
It's something that I've become more focused on than ever recently because I think and we work well together because there's a lot of shared values, shared vision, similar ethos, but we have also quite differences in certain ways. So for me, I'll just take massive risks, throw myself into stuff and not be as bothered about attention to detail.
Yes.
But as we are getting bigger, and this year has been unbelievable for us, it's been the fastest growth, the most life-changing year. I've actually gone the opposite way. I've started valuing the attention to detail more than ever, because as you get more people to serve, you feel a deeper sense of responsibility.
absolutely,
There's more
yeah.
people talking about you, and actually it is those little things that make the biggest difference to people.
Yeah, and if you want to track the big, luckily now we're doing it so long, but we will. Our guests are literally the biggest stars in the UK anyway. They're, we're not getting Hollywood movie stars and stuff, but the biggest people in UK TV. For them to trust their brand that they've built over 30 years and bled out of their eyes to produce, to go, I'm going to be associated with Acts on This, and I'm going to, allow them to put micro content out that's branded with the Acts on This logo on. Sign up at actsonthis.tv.
Always selling.
Shopped at actsonthis.tv if you want to buy a hoodie. And it's a responsibility, mate. If I'm like, Stephen Graham has been on chatting. He's one of the biggest actors in the UK. Adolescence is massive. Phil Barancini, who directed it, multiple podcasts with him. If I want them to come on and not only just come on and chat, but then be happy for me to put out micro content that they will then repost on their social medias, where that Acts on This logo is, if it's hanging off the bottom of the screen or it's covered by the Instagram, hearts and things down the right, you've really got to think about the little details of going, where are the subtitles going to be on this micro content? Are they going to be covered by the caption at the bottom, or are they going to be covered by all of the icons on the right? And are the icons bigger on TikTok than they are on Instagram? For me, it matters because I just want that to hit as hard as possible.
But maybe there's something in that in why you have done so well, because I see it a lot with people. I think, and let's not, like, obviously I have empathy for them, because when you're a solopreneur starting out at the beginning, and you need to be marketing, you need to be content creator, you need to be the person selling, you need to be the person delivering. It's a lot, and people feel super overwhelmed. So actually, those little things do get missed, but it stands out. You do notice when somebody's text is then covered, like you say, by the love heart or the comment box or whatever, and it's those little attention to detail differences that really do make you stand out. Yeah. Now, I think it's only fair that I'll get Helen to do the same back to me.
Go on, Helen. Slag Matt right off. Petch, by the way, thanks. You didn't
He didn't tell the truth.
You didn't tell the truth. The brief I gave you in the car, you followed through on. I'm joking, by the way.
The other thing,
just quickly before you move to
Helen. Helen, I don't know if you find this. If I want Ross to do anything, I have to make it feel like it's his idea.
Oh, that's how I manage men all the time, to be honest.
I will on my hands up here. Sometimes, and I genuinely mean this, sometimes we'll be riffing on something, and I honestly don't know how it happens, right? Because it's not a conscious thing. I'll say something, and I'll think it's a really good idea, and I'll say, yeah, this is what I said 10 minutes ago. I'll go, did you? And he's like, yeah. And honestly,
I think I've witnessed
and I really mean it, where I go,
I genuinely didn't know.
I genuinely didn't realise either.
That's a problem as well, Ross. You need to look at that.
Probably need to look at that. So thanks, Petch.
For all the ideas.
Yeah, for all the ideas
that
I thought were mine. Yeah, I'll take it.
It's a good point, but that's a life skill I have adapted anyway. And another one that I was told years ago when I was about 20, I was really young, and one of my female bosses said to me about the big boss, don't go to him with a problem, go to him with a solution. And I always keep that in mind now.
Well, you haven't done, have you? All I get is problems. I'm kidding. I wish you'd remember that. I'm joking. Go in. And I think, but I think people listening, like, this is the stuff they want to hear, because for all of us, we're all just doing our best, and it's not easy, and we do make mistakes, and it is constant evaluating and navigating how to be better. And I think people sometimes will look at us, no idea why, and they might put us on a pedestal and think we've got it all together. And actually, quite often it's chaos. Yeah. It's hard bloody work.
Yeah. I think for me, obviously, like you, I started out as a member of that community. So I think you feel a real sense of responsibility and a real weight on you to make sure that, like, is this serving the members right? Is this giving them what they need? Is this delivering? Is it... Because I know what my expectations were as a member. So therefore, I think it gives you great insight in one aspect, that it's like, well, I know what I expected. But at the same time, it's then like, if you ever feel like you're falling short of that, you feel really bad about it. So you've got the kind of the balance there between those two things. But I think genuinely, honestly, it is an honour, isn't it, to be able to be in that position where you're the person that runs that community, that serves those people that are all invested in it, and to be able to support the person that was your mentor, was the person that you signed up to mentor you and to coach you and to be able to help them then go on to deliver it.
Sounds like a cult.
It
is.
is. It is a
We're not. We're done pretending. It is a fucking cult. When you sign up, you're up for life, or you boot it out and blocks. It's a cult. It's genuinely not, by the way. Yeah.
But, like, genuinely it is. And also, on the flip side of that, I don't think I had any idea. And obviously our community's grown a lot anyway in the last year, which I'm sure
I mean,
we'll talk
we were
about
always
more.
around 60 to 70 members. We're now on just short of 250. As in, at the start, like at the middle of this year, we still only had about 60 members.
Yeah.
And now, less than 6 months later, 250.
Yeah. And I don't think you could ever contemplate how much work that is. Like, it's a lot. When you've got 250 people that at any given moment could all be needing something from you.
On our most days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's one side of it that the members don't see. It's they'll drop you a message at 9 o'clock at night and go, "Oh, can you just?" And it's like,
And they think it's just
they
them.
think it's just them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or on a Saturday, or on and it's like,
That is hard.
that is so hard, and that's
And it's a pull, isn't it?
probably-
Because we communicate those boundaries, but equally, we
Absolutely.
want to be there for them. We care.
Absolutely. And if you can help someone, you will. Like, somebody actually messaged me today while we've been here and said, "Don't look at this till Monday." And I opened
I've had
it,
2 of them that say that.
and I was like, I would help you, but I'm literally sat in a podcast studio and I literally can't right now. Like, but you know, the minute I get a minute, they'll get a response and I'll help them, because that's what we do.
It's who
Even
we are.
though, like you said, you do have to have boundaries and communicate your boundaries, but at the same time, you just want people to have a good experience. If you can, you always do.
It's
Show up
absolutely
for
round the clock,
people.
isn't it? Absolutely round the clock.
Yeah, absolutely round the clock. Like, even when you go on holiday, because if you're not there doing it, nobody is, and it's like,
That's the difference between a business of this size versus
Exactly.
a business with 30 people in the team and things like that.
exactly. So it's like, on that side of it, it's like, it's a lot, but at the same time, there's so much reward from what we do. And like, I mean, this Tuesday night just gone, we had our members social, didn't we? We had a big get together in a bar in Manchester.
We wanted to go, but we were doing a feature with the casting director for Bridgerton, so we couldn't make it. Yeah,
Oh, I love Bridgerton.
we'll get you in it.
Oh, Ross,
Kelly, who cast
that
it,
would
is one of the
literally
most
be
beautiful
the
souls.
dream. The dream.
She's so nice.
I mean, I can't act, but I'll just
get you
walk
in it.
past or something.
We had a member who's brand new jump on the call, and he was like, "I'm not on." So you have to be on this thing called Spotlight if you're in the acting industry. It's a casting platform, and he's not got an agent yet. But he's just got this enthusiasm. He'd had a career. What had he done? He'd had a career in some
Some kind of hotel or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's a completely different industry for years, and he's just decided to chase his dream now finally, which is wonderful. That's another wonderful thing to witness when people come to the membership who are like, I'm 48, I'm 50. You know, David today, 77, had been a magistrate's judge for 18 years or whatever. Now he wants to chase his dreams as an actor. And we brought him on camera, this guy, Matt, didn't we? And Kelly, who cast Bridgerton. And she's so lovely. She's like, oh, Matt, I'll give you an audition. Like, I'll try my best. So we'll get you in, Helen. We'll get you in. We'll get you a part.
Honestly, like, I don't watch TV, but I've religiously watched every season of Bridgerton. I wait for it to come out.
You've said that about a few things.
obviously.
She goes, I haven't watched TV, and then you usually insert.
I don't watch TV. Like, I literally don't watch TV. The only things I've watched this year are Traitors and Bridgerton.
Oh, okay, Traitors as well, right? And there's definitely more I could find if we keep going, I'm sure. But I won't press. All right, let's do the other side. So I think one thing that both yourself and Petch have alluded to there is there's kind of like you started out as members of the community. And then you're seeing the other side. So I'm interested from being a member to then like working with us. What has surprised you the most? What has shocked you, or what have you learned that you maybe wouldn't have known as a member?
I just think the amount of planning and time and commitment that you've had to put into it to get it to where you've got it to, like, genuinely. And I know, obviously, since you've started Success School, you've switched platforms, you've grown it in not just in the physical sense of the numbers in the membership, but in the sense of what the membership now offers. You know, like, we've just had Rebecca here now, who's the AI lady who's built Mapbot, and you now have your own chatbot that's like, it's all of the interactive stuff that you put into the membership, but it's that side of it, the tech side of it, all of that work that people, from a user perspective, obviously you appreciate it and you're like, oh yeah, all the videos are on here, but you don't see the background work that goes into uploading those videos and putting that content together and maintaining those platforms and sending those reminder
They just
emails out.
appear.
And it's
Never
like,
It just appears.
exactly, it never stops. There's so much work goes on behind the scenes to sustain a membership, and it's like, that's been the eye opener for me.
I've got a question, actually, part of this. Then this is maybe my insecurity talking. But have we disappointed you both? And what I mean by
Is the
that...
magic gone? Because you've seen behind the curtain.
Have we disappointed you? Because like you say, you see Ross as the big positive person, and actually like I was a big mindset influence for you, and actually you do see me struggle.
Oh,
you do
yeah.
see the challenges.
Yeah, but do you know what? If anything, for me, that's been like reaffirming and reassuring that, like, because I did always look at you like nothing bothers Matt, nothing gets under Matt's skin.
Did you really?
Yeah. When you were my mindset coach, 100%, and now obviously, like, often you'll come to me for support, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is bothering me," or "This is," and
How was that? How's that been for you?
good, because I think it just has taught me that everybody has points where, you know, you struggle more, and that it's very human, but it doesn't have to hold you back. And I think that's the big thing that I've learned with you, is that, like, you have all those emotions too, but you don't stay there. That's the difference, is like you will have those days where it, you know, something will get you down, or something will stress you out, or you'll get anxious, but you move through it very, very quickly. You're very much on to the next action. Whereas before I worked with you, before you were my coach, I would have stayed there. I would have took one knock, and that would have been that. I would have given up. And now I see that it's like you get, well, not to sound like Chumbawamba, but you get knocked down and you get back up again.
Back up again.
Good song.
You keep getting knocked down and you keep getting back up. It's not that those people that you idolise, it's not that those people that you idolise don't get knocked. They do.
It's how they
get
respond.
knocked all the time, but it's how they respond. and
Probably
they just
more
get
than
back
most
up.
people, actually.
Absolutely, because they're taking more risks than most people.
This episode is sponsored by Dr. Tania King-Mohammad. She is the high ticket woman, the #1 best-selling author of the high ticket method, and one of the most sought after high ticket experts in the game. Basically, if you are an entrepreneur who is serious about scaling their business, you need to grab a copy of her book right now. Literally, I have read it and it is a game changer. It will blow your flipping mind. Tania is the mentor that the entrepreneurs call once they are finished playing small and are ready to start charging their worth. Working with Tania is all about creating consistent high ticket sales and doing it in a way where you can create a freedom level income without the constant hustle and grind like a lot of the other mentors bang on about. If you're listening to this show, you already know you're somebody that's meant for more and is willing to go and work for it. So basically, you need to get into Tania's world. Go and grab a copy of her book right now on Amazon and make sure you give her a cheeky little follow on Instagram. She is at Freedom with Tania, and she's consistently giving strategies, tips and advice over there for free, so you can start charging your worth and actually starting to believe in it.
Petch,
So-
anything for you?
For you or for us?
Either, well, both. if you
Anything
want, because
goes,
obviously it's worth saying for people who don't know, we have worked together collaboratively for 3 years, haven't we, on the programme Bulletproof Factor? Probably 4 years ago we did the first intake, was it? 3 years ago?
3
years ago.
3, yeah.
So, and especially that first year when we were first developing it from scratch, that version of the course, that was a lot. I mean, I can remember us doing like 8 hours and
Oh, mate, it was
10
huge
hours on
amounts of
just
work.
creating slides and stuff.
Thousands of slides
So
we wrote.
by all means, if there's things from your experience, because we've known each other years, right?
Yes,
As well.
yeah, but this is it. We knew each other before you started collaborating from Act on This. You were an actor. You were part of the membership. We
Yeah,
brought you
even
on
back then, yeah.
When we did Watch Ross and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you were on the vlog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/Watch Ross is still there.
Can't help it, you
Fantastic.
can't help it.
Fantastic vlog.
But you're acting like, oh yeah, you're on the vlog. Yeah, you mentioned it on one of the last episodes. You said I look like shit.
Oh, yeah, you did look like shit. Yeah, you did. You were a broken man.
What
back
was
then,
it? A
man.
former what was it?
Yeah,
A
I
shadow.
was saying that people normally say you're a shadow of your former self. And
Shadow of my future self.
Yeah, you were a shadow of your future self.
Because
yeah.
I looked that shit then.
Mate, you just
I look good
broken.
now.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
You know, I don't know. You've been on the road with Take That or something. And you just too many.
I was shattered.
You know, he's shattered. Bless him.
But I remember meeting you at an awards thing for the Greater Manchester Fringe plays, and my play won Best Writing. I think you were nominated for something as well. We went out afterwards, and you had just split up with your girlfriend.
Yeah, I got really pissed.
Yeah.
I ended up
Spill.
going back. When he was saying, I remember that. I was like, what awards? But I was really drunk.
Do you remember me going up to chat to that lass?
I've got no idea what you're going to say, but I'm here for it.
But no, that's
Access all areas. Let's do it. What did you say?
no. You were like, Petch, I really like her over there. I was like, all right.
Oh
so
my
I
God.
went over and introduced you, and that was.
I've completely forgotten that.
This is like something you do at high school. Hi, will you go with my mate?
Yeah, well, it was a long time ago, Ross. We're only young.
But like I've seen you down, and I've seen you up, and your up is really inspiring to me, because at the time I was kind of plateaued, and now I'm down, and I use you as an example of, oh, if you can go from there to there, then I can. There's nothing stopping me from getting there.
So
and
that
you
would have
completely changed your
been-
life around.
That would have been when I just come out of the 7-year relationship that. So, and obviously you all know the story there, that I was with someone for a long time and it ended really badly, and there was, some really shit stuff towards the end. And that was the really low time that I always remember saying, and we've spoken about this, but I always remember saying that I've never ever had like any suicidal thoughts or anything like that. But it was the time I remember thinking, I'm not bothered if I wake up tomorrow. And when I say that now, it literally is like, I don't recognize that person. I can't believe I'm saying that about me. I feel detached from it, like I'm just talking about a story, but it's actually how I felt at that time. And that would have been, I think, what you're referring to, that sort of time.
Yeah, you were down, like the lowest I've seen you. But I didn't know much about you at that point. I thought that was your constant. And I was like, okay, is the guy hurting? We went out, we had a good night. You pulled.
We did, I think. Yeah, it was a great night.
So,
Fucking loved it.
winner. But then seeing you go on to create Success School, you doing the bodybuilding stuff, you changed my life. You turned me vegan. I don't know if you know that.
I do know, yeah. I'm responsible for Petch being vegan.
I believe
Well,
so.
not technically me, though. Do you want to give the story?
I mean,
this podcast.
My now ex was talking about going vegan. and
Right.
I have this thing, I think Ross instilled it in me, is if you talk about something 3 times on different occasions, it means you really want to do it. Or you want to try it at least. So I said to her, right, you've mentioned this several times now. If you want to go vegan, I will go vegan with you. I was the biggest meat eater you will ever meet. Like a mixed grill was my go-to.
No way.
Seriously, like the biggest meat eater. And I said, right, I will go all in with you if you go all in. Like no cheating, no a bit of chocolate here, no bit of cheese there, no bit of milk.
Like we're doing it.
If you're going to do it, I'll do it for a month. I can't promise you I will stay with you. Not stay with you. Stay. I promise you I'll stay with you. I can't promise you that I will stay doing it after a month.
Yeah.
But if you do it for a month, I'll do it. And then I started listening to your podcast. And then I started doing other research. And I was like, right, that's it. I'm the biggest vegan you will ever meet.
No
now.
way, because
So,
that would have been right around the beginning of this show, this podcast. Back then it was called Rich in Success rather than Success School. And that's when I was doing it with Dan, my cousin, and we were in the south of France.
Yep.
Doing an interview with a lady called Lena Stubner,
That's one.
and she was sharing how going vegan had changed her life, and she'd had health problems, and then she'd chosen to make those nutritional changes, and everything had changed for her.
Yep.
And you listened to that show, and similarly, like around the same time, Helen, that's when you started listening to the show, because it was about a couple of episodes before or after when I interviewed Lee Brennan, who Helen, you'd already been following him, was just getting into mindset, heard that chat, and then basically through you listened to the show because of Lee, but then stuck with us basically, ended up still here.
Yeah, became a listener, and then when you started your membership, became a member, and then been here ever since.
Yeah, so that was all around the beginning of the
Same
show.
time, So the magic hasn't gone from you. is, if anything, you've inspired
Don't say
me.
it's come from me, Petch. The magic hasn't gone from you.
He's now going to turn
Screw
to it. It's right, you.
The magic has gone from
You big fraudster.
The magic,
It's like the Wizard of Oz, isn't it? It's all an act.
the magic from Ross has changed,
Shattered years ago.
has shattered. Again, very similar to what you were saying. I've seen the human side of Ross,
Yeah.
and it's not that the magic. Okay, yes, the magic has died. It's like the honeymoon period in a relationship.
Which I think's normal.
Yeah.
And it's not normal to put something or somebody on a pedestal, which
No.
I think we can fall into that trap
Yeah.
when we're a part of something. And I think what you're seeing is you're working with this person now and you're going through everything together.
Seeing the trials and tribulations. I'm seeing how, on one hand, he's Mr. Positive out and on his external persona online and things like that, but on the inside, he'll message me and go, Petch, and he'll just go on off a massive rant, and I'm like, wow, but you're human.
Yeah.
And that it's nothing that you've done. I've just, again, it's like that thing of putting somebody on a pedestal. It was my fault for putting you up there. And then seeing who you really are. You've not fallen short of any expectations. It's just oh my God, you're human as well.
It's front stage, backstage. It's like you go to a West End show and the audience see what's going on front stage, and it's this amazing spectacle. And they don't see the chaos that's going on behind the scenes. Everyone's running around with props. People are coming off stage, ripping their clothes off, changing into another costume change. There's technical people pulling ropes everywhere to make stuff work up here, hydraulics, all this stuff's going
The
on.
after party, everybody's shagging everybody.
Everybody's
falling out.
I've never done Western theatre, but yeah, behind the scenes in any business is going to be all of the mess that people don't see. But that's just like so utterly normal, and that is the danger really of just looking at people's front stages and comparing them to your backstage and go, well, hang on a minute, why is everything so chaotic back here? But for them, it seems like everything's absolutely amazing. I promise you, not a single person online, like regardless whether they run a business or they're a pop star, or they're a movie star or whatever, is living a problem-free life. If anything, your problems get better quality to a certain degree. But if anything, the more success you have, the more problems you have. I noticed a really honest post Stephen Bartlett put out this week. I don't know if you saw it. Just on about going basically like, here's the reality of entrepreneurship and growth and growing a business, how lonely it is, how there is no respite in terms of, I thought, honestly, building a business 20 years ago, I'm swapping the 9 till 5 here for
Financial freedom.
Yep. No way. I swapped it for the 24/7. I swapped it for hundreds of people who are now my boss, because I look at every member of our community. Ultimately, I'm responsible to them.
That's it.
I'm like you, Helen. I will answer the emails at 11, 12 at night. I'll get into bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. It'll come through. And I'm like, if I do not answer this now, that's another job to do tomorrow. We were away in London. We sponsor a working class bursary in London. For this company called Just Add Milk. Shout out to you. They do really good work for working class actors. And we were only away for a day and a half. The mountain of work you come back to because you're not on it literally hour by hour for that day.
Oh,
and a
we've just
half.
had that, haven't we?
I literally said it to you the other day.
We've just had a meltdown week, haven't we, Helen?
Yeah, I went to the theatre the other day for 2.5 hours, and I come out and I looked at my phone, and honest to God, I was
She
like,
threw it in the river.
I literally could have cried.
It's honestly
because it's so overwhelming.
It is.
Sometimes you come out and you're like,
How dare you have 2 hours at the
2
theatre?
hours,
Yeah.
2 hours to yourself,
And it's
and you come
that-
out and you're like, wow.
It's that people don't see. And I wouldn't change it because I've chosen it. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, God, woe me. I'm absolutely get to do this. And I have to do it. I've chosen to do it. But it is, it really like is not going to be for everyone. No. And it's not, I don't even know if I'd recommend it. There's huge spoils here in terms of like, the stuff you can do when you build a business, the financial changes it makes in your life, the impact you can make, the messages you get where it's like, oh my God, I've had 3 or 4 messages this week of actors who have signed with agents, and they're like, oh my God, I just want to take you for breakfast. You've changed this for me. I can't thank you for what you've done. That's amazing. That's priceless already. You can't kind of buy that. But equally, I'm like, there's definitely going to be other people out there who are probably having a way more balanced, happier life by just working the 9 till 5 and then.
But can I just say that, like, where we're at,
afterwards.
I think there's like an honest thing we need to share, which is we at this stage are choosing hardship.
Yep, definitely. Yep.
Because financially and in terms of resources we have, it doesn't have to be this hard.
Yep.
So there's I think one part is there's an ambition and a drive to keep going bigger and keep serving more and having a bigger impact. I think for you, there's still that fear of bringing on more team, because what that equates to is
Micromanagement.
letting go of more control.
You would be in charge, Petch. Yeah.
So I
say that,
I
but
think
I
I think that's an
Eventually.
honest part of this conversation we need to share. Is it doesn't have to be this way at this stage. We're choosing a lot of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, 100%. And that's probably from I don't know, probably some deep trauma from somewhere in childhood going, don't spend too much of what you've already made on expansion. One thing that's inspired me quite a lot is you have done a bit more of that this year. I've seen you throw a lot of what you made back into doing stuff that's even more of a risk.
All of it.
Which has made...
We've thrown everything in.
Yeah, which has made me go, oh, okay, maybe I should have... I don't think I could go quite the whole hog you've done, but I could maybe be more risk... what's the opposite of aversive? Risk...
Taker?
I don't know what the word would be. But yeah, basically just more open to taking more financial risk. As I said at the start of this, I think the reason I've not done that this year is I just feel we've had to work so hard to stand still. But I'm really happy with the fact that we're not ending the year going, oh, we're 150 members down at the start of the year, but we just stood still, and that's a win.
Whereas for us this year, in a year where a lot of people have been saying launching is harder than ever, business is harder than ever, we've had our best year by a long way.
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason.
I think something's changed in the last 6 weeks, though. I did a little carousel post on Instagram. I'm trying to do more carousels. I've seen you post a lot of carousels. I'm not going to have to post some more carousels. Matt's doing it.
There's a real competitiveness in Ross. I
Industry
could tell. It's like, oh, Matt's doing it. Fuck, we need a carousel.
Genuinely, and I don't know if you get this with what we do, but genuinely, I get ideas from watching what you guys are doing. And sometimes, and I've said this before, when it comes to actors, I'm like, share your wins, because a lot of actors don't want to, because they're like, well, if I say I've got a job, that means everyone else is going to be jealous, or that I'm going to... They do it from not even a jealousy point. They want to protect other people from hurting their feelings by going, if I say I've got a job, then you're going to feel shit about your career. And I'm the opposite.
I think
I'm
it's
like,
also a very British thing as well. We don't like to
Yeah, that's true.
brag, I
brag.
suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, share your wins, please, because for everyone who's going to feel jealous, there'll be one person who's inspired.
Yeah.
And when I can be absolutely fucking knackered at 11 o'clock at night, Matt, and I'll jump online and I'll go on Instagram. You're very visible. Another post comes up from Matt, or he's got a fucking Facebook status update, and I'm like, he's put 17 things out today. I've put 7. Right. Before I go to bed, one more post. And that's when I did that carousel.
Is that what you pay Petch to do? To just phone you and go, one more post.
Yeah, go on, Petch.
Cheerlead you.
One more post.
Cheerlead you. To
be fair, Matt,
outperform me.
At least he watches your stuff. I've been putting stuff out, and he's like, "Have you done anything?"
yeah, well, I think it's the algorithm. I must have engaged, and I'm seeing more.
Yeah.
But no, Petch got 1,000 views on a video only put out last night.
Brilliant.
Good work, Petch.
Yeah.
But I will, I'll do that, and I'll that inspires me to sort of change things up and go, right, I'm going to go one more. But I put a post out the other day, because I didn't realise in the last 30 days, we've had over 90 members now sign up in just 30 days, not through massive promotion or anything like that, just through organic, normal kind of stuff that we're doing.
So there's a shift.
I feel there has been a shift in this literally the last few weeks, in terms of, I said at the start, optimism for 2026. At the meetup, then I felt it. And I don't think it can just be across our industry. I just feel, I don't know, people like the end of the year, don't they? And just sort of like going, right, I'm going to clean start in the new year. But I do feel that in terms of, it's been a difficult year for business, but we're on a bit of a turn, I hope anyway, for next year.
So I'd love us all now for this next section to talk about our biggest top lessons
I've got
that
loads.
we're taking from this year. And I definitely have a lot to offer with this, because I think this has been the year that has changed my life, my mindset, and my business more than probably any other year, which is quite a big statement to say. When you think, like, I started my first business at 19, you'd think that's a pretty big year, and things like that first year, bringing on a team and hiring people. But there's never been, I guess there's been a compound effect that's kicked in this year. And you often think, I think when we think of a compound effect, what we think of is years of it being hard. and then bang, 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 everything gets easy.
Yeah.
But what actually it is it's a really short space of time where it's hard to keep up from a mindset perspective, from an identity perspective. Like there's all these changes that happen in a condensed space of time. And that's why I probably reflect on this year. It's almost like I've had 10 years in 6 months.
Yeah.
It's been unbelievable this year. And I actually want to take the opportunity to say thank you for all of you sat around here, because all of you have inspired me and supported me, and I've learned from all of you, and you've all encouraged me. And I also want to say a massive thank you to everybody listening and just anybody that's been a part of this journey, because there is no business with, I've always said it from day one, business is just about people and it's just about relationships. That's it. It's
Definitely,
at the heart of it, full stop. And there's people that like listen to this show and support and are in the membership that have been here year after year after year, just like you guys have got with Act on This. And through the changes and the uncertainty, there's people that have stuck by us and always believed in us. And that is something, when you talk about business feeling lonely and so on, those are the moments we really need that. When you see people, because we've had it when we've gone through evolution and people leave and you're no longer for them and they think, oh, you've changed.
Yeah.
And it's in those moments you go, yeah, but look at these people who are still with us.
Yeah.
These still believe in us. These haven't left. So I just want to say, if you are one of those people, genuinely, thank you. Also, if you did leave and you're just back listening to us for Christmas, I love you too as well, genuinely, because you've all played, your part in the journey, and it's all
and they
important.
will come back. So at the meetup, shout out to a guy called John Bullich today, an actor who was heavily engaged in our community years ago.
Yeah.
And then, the acting industry is difficult. People have to go away and, and get other jobs and do different things, and life takes them down different roads and stuff. But he came back to the meetup today for the first time in, I don't know, mate, 3 years, something like that. And reconnecting with those old people who were such a core of your membership at the beginning.
Beautiful.
Genuinely is wonderful. And obviously by the end of it, he's like, oh my God, mate, I can't believe how much I needed this. And then he's going to rejoin again. The people who have left will, if you allow them to leave with grace, here's a tip for everybody running a business. It is so important how you allow people to leave your business. It's just as important as how you welcome them in. If people send you I want to cancel my membership email, people email me and say I want to cancel. If I am like, oh, well, fuck you then, right, I've taken it personally, see you later, you don't know what you're missing, they're never going to come back. No. How you refund people and how you let people go from your business is just as important as how you sell them initially.
Agreed.
Because they will come back. If you leave them with grace, it's like, listen, thank you so much for being part of this community. Your membership's going to cancel on January the 15th. You'll have access until then. If there's anything I can do for you, even after that, please, you've got my email address. Reach out anytime. DM me on Instagram. Would love to reconnect with you down the line. We've got loads of stuff coming up. Would be great to see you in the future. Signing them off like that. And it's genuine. You're not doing it because you're just like, oh, I want you to come back. But, part of you wants them to come back because you want to grow your business. But the amount of people who then, they'll even message back to that going, oh my God, thanks so much for like,
fuck it, I'll stay.
Even that. People do.
Yeah.
People do. They go, actually, no, you know what? I'm going to give it another month. I've just decided I'm going to give it another month. So just realise that in your business, like, it's not all about, just bringing on new people all the time. It's how you look after your existing people is probably more important than the new people to begin with.
After that email that he'll message me and go,
Petch, we've lost 10 members this week.
What are we going to do? And have a big meltdown.
But it is important. That is important.
And that's the other side as well. It's hard. I found that this year. It has been hard not taking it personal, because having a membership on a scale that we're on now, again, that's been part of the learning and part of the growth. You do get churn. So the thing with like the 60, 70 members is it kind of stayed those same core 60 people at a while, and nobody was leaving, but also we wasn't growing. When you grow, I think the industry average is around 10%. You can expect 5 to 10% churn. And when you're not used to that, you're going, oh my God, what are we doing wrong? Why does everybody hate us?
We can lose 5, up to 10 in a day. Yeah, and if it's one after the other, it can feel a little bit grueling. Like
it's soul destroying, isn't it?
So what I would say about those emails I just mentioned there, have them in a text file, copy paste, because sometimes
get ready to send a lot.
Because sometimes you might not feel like replying with that. But it is important, yeah. You know, always care
And there's
about
another
them.
side I want to add to it as well, is it because it's a balancing act also between not being walked all over. So sometimes people try it on, and sometimes you think it'd be easier just give them a refund and so on. But actually, and I have said to people, do you know what? Fine. I had an example this year. Somebody who, as you know, when people sign up for a course, even if they choose to pay in installments, they're making a commitment to still pay all those
To
installments.
complete the-
It's different for example, a membership where you say, you know, no commitment, cancel any time. But people will try it on and say, well, that wasn't as clear as it, or whatever. And we had somebody say that, and I think it was like 300 odd quid or something he wanted back and what have you. And I actually, just to your point there, I just think what I'm hearing you say is just actually be a good human being. And I did give sort of like empathy and understanding to this person's point. But what I knew they'd done is twisted things and gone, well, that wasn't clear. And they'd done things so that legally it was questionable or whatever. And I just was really honest about that. And I said, we both know that you knew what you was doing. You knew what you'd signed up to. You knew you was paying. You was happy to do so. Your circumstances have changed. And I was just honest about that. And I called it out. I said, but if that is how you want to do stuff, all I'll say is I'll give you the money, send me your bank details, but please don't do this again, because you don't know what that business is going through. You don't know how hard they've worked to get there. Please don't go around thinking just because your circumstances have changed, you can now lie and twist things.
Yep.
And you know, he never sent me the bank details. I never gave the refund. He just left it. I think it was, so sometimes not just being walked all over as well, and being honest about things and saying this is not cool is important too.
People don't realise in terms of small business, like how fragile like your ecosystem is around the financial setup. So everyone who's got a business, and if you take Stripe or PayPal or any of the card processors, you will have experienced a point where you'll have had a chargeback. I'm sure you've probably experienced a point where you have a chargeback, and that's where somebody goes to the bank and they ask for a refund through their credit card processor as opposed to you. And normally that would be if someone has forgotten to cancel their membership. And then the payment goes through, rather than messaging me and saying, Ross, I'm so sorry, mate. I should have cancelled membership last month. I can't afford it. I didn't expect this payment to go through this morning. I'd forgotten about it. Any chance you could refund it? And of course, every single time I'm going to refund it. I don't want to take anyone's money that doesn't want to spend their money with us. But rather than doing that, which would be so simple in a 2-minute job, they'll ring the bank and they'll go, hi, this money's come out. I didn't want it to go out. And they think the bank's giving them the money back. They don't even acknowledge that the company even gets involved. They go, oh, the credit card will give me the money back. They don't realise that at that point, the credit card company initiates this chargeback with you. Your credit card processor basically gets this case on file that goes, right, you've charged somebody and they're saying they didn't want to be charged. That opens up a case with me that then I have to supply lots of evidence that they didn't cancel the membership, that I'm not doing anything behind the scenes that I shouldn't be doing. They fine me, and then they take the money back instantly. And it's for me to prove that the person didn't cancel. 50-60% of the time, well, no, not even that. Probably I'd say 70% of the time they will win. 30% of the time, if it's just what they call friendly fraud, where I can just prove this person's just a joker, they'll side with me. But a lot of people, they're not doing it to try and kind of like hurt you. They don't know that's the impact. And if you're only allowed 1 in every 1,000 transactions to be a chargeback. Otherwise, you'll have your entire card processor taken off you. So, like, just be aware. Like, if you're charging companies back, you could be, if it's a small business, you could be wrecking them completely. You're allowed 1 in 1,000. So when it comes to refunds, I'm very responsive in terms of I would rather refund that guy his 300 quid. Just on the off chance that he might just give me a charge, but I'd rather go take the money. Really, really don't want it. Even though you are being a bit of a, sort of, he's being it's a bit snide the way he's transacting. Yeah. I'll take the hit a lot of the time to avoid the charge.
Yeah, same. Yeah. But that was the point I was saying. I'll pay it. Yeah, I'll pay it. But I just want to give you my opinion on this because I'm a human being. I'm not just like a robot.
You definitely got to stand your corner. But yeah, for me, I'm like, if people want a refund, have it, because the amount of time I'll spend sorting out that chargeback thing or trying to convince you not to, I could be acquiring new custom. I'd rather just bring on people who are queuing up to go, I want to be part of the membership. Take my card. Yeah.
All right, let's do it quick fire. Let's all give the gold now.
Yeah.
Biggest lessons from this year. What has this year taught you? Let's go round the room. Helen.
Go on, Helen.
What's been the big ones for you?
Honestly, it's been the most transformative year of my life. I think it's just the way it's fell in terms of the timeline of my life, in terms of, obviously we've discussed it before, I'm not going to go into too much depth, but I've been recovering from a really chronic anxiety disorder. I've had agoraphobia. I've overcome all of that this year, along with obviously helping you to build your most successful year in your business. So it's just gone hand in hand together. To be honest, I feel like now over Christmas I need to stop and take a breath and actually acknowledge,
Yeah,
that's
no,
like, you're not stopping.
You're not doing that. What are you talking
do you mean
about?
You're working on Christmas Day, Ellen.
Stopping doesn't exist.
Get out of your vocabulary. Grow up.
So what's the lesson from all of that then?
So I think probably that things can change, and they can change pretty quickly. Once you get that momentum going. I think you can think that things are a certain way and that they will always be a certain way, and actually transformation when it comes can happen pretty quickly. I think that's been the biggest lesson for me this year. Like, if you just said to me in January 2025, oh, by November you'll have done all of this and you'll have been to all of these places, I'd have been like, I can't do any of that though.
And you've been to Nando's twice with me.
Well, that's been the highlight.
big
That's
win.
been the biggest thing. If someone had said to you, you go Nando's in Ross, you'd be like, never. I love it.
But yeah, so I think that's probably been the biggest lesson for me, is that how quick those things can happen, but that you have to be willing to go along for the ride. It's not been comfortable. None of it has been comfortable.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like none of it. It's definitely been the most difficult and stretching year of my life, but at the same time, it's been the most transformative.
Because you've lent into it.
Yeah.
You've gone, this is really uncomfortable, so keep going. This is still uncomfortable, keep
Keep
going.
going.
And I think it's the key. I think
Yeah.
most people go, this is uncomfortable, let me stop.
Yeah.
Which is why you're not having a break over fucking Christmas.
Yeah, Ellen.
No, but there is, because we've spoke about that, haven't we? In terms of when you talk about like the anxiety disorder and the mental health side of stuff, you have said like one of the best things has, and we're not advocating that this is going to be necessarily right for everybody, and everybody's case is obviously different, but you've actually not allowed yourself to dwell on that stuff and stay there. You've actually like proactively gone, we've got to keep moving. I can't let this hold me back. And in doing so, you've moved through it and gone, it's not even a problem today. We're okay.
Yeah. Like, I went through in high intensity therapy.
Yeah.
There's definitely a place for that. Don't just try and do it on your own.
Yeah.
But once I'd completed that therapy, that was when I had to make that decision that it was like, right, like now we're not looking back. We're not stopping. We're not, all of that stuff that I've not been able to do, that I've missed out on, that I've, in terms of building a career for myself, in terms of traveling to places and doing things, and all of the experiences I've missed out on. Now it's just got to be a case of, I don't care how uncomfortable I feel now. I've just got to face it all. I've got to do it all. And it has genuinely been a very uncomfortable year, and a year where, like I said, I feel like I need to catch my breath because I just feel like, what just happened? Like, what just happened? But at the same time, like, wow, doesn't it just show what can happen in a year? And
how do you feel now? Tired.
Mind blown. Absolutely mind blown. A little bit, to be honest, like you said before, we didn't go into it, we had a meltdown week this week. We did. Had a bit of a meltdown this week, because I think emotionally it can get quite overwhelming sometimes when you're going through all of this stuff, and the highs and the lows, and the, constantly being out of your comfort zone is exhausting.
Yeah. That's the other side of it.
Massively exhausting. So there's that side of it, but also like, I just feel so proud now looking back at the last 12 months. I just think like, who is she? Like, who is she? And I'm excited to see more of what she's got in there.
She's Helen fucking Hill. That's right. That's right.
Good work, Ellen.
Yeah. And I'm really, really proud of you. It's been incredible. And the things that we've done this year, like, there's no way I couldn't have done that on my own. Like, so your support and your help has been a pivotal part of this. And yeah, just thank you.
Oh, thank you, because I wouldn't have done any of it without you either.
Why'd you never thank me like that?
I always
Here we
thank
go.
you. I give you shout outs all the time.
The first one of these that you did, I remember you saying, I do it all on my own, Matt.
No, I was talking about. I was talking about having someone else film the stuff and
If you
say,
can, put that clip in here.
Yeah.
I meant, no,
Insert it now.
I
This
meant
is what he
it in-
said.
It's insane. Yeah, I am learning, and it's an evolution of years and years and years. I still haven't let go of the control within me. I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm learning to let go. But yeah, I when I'm doing my podcast, run everything. We've got people behind the cameras here, people running the audio. I do it all, host it, edit it, film it, put it out, do the micro content, everything. I'm learning to not do that, and I'm probably going to come and use you guys and just have it all done for me. No, it's out of context. I meant it in the context in terms of I bought all the cameras for our podcast ourselves, so it was lovely going to a studio where that's all taken care of. That's what I meant. I didn't mean to do it on my own. Petch, you're an integral part, mate. You know, I shout him out all the time. We went to an event where I was speaking,
And he does speak like this when you're not in the room as well. He speaks very, very highly of you.
We went to an event,
Just not on the podcast.
and I got
Just never in front of me.
Yeah.
No, I got it on the record. We went to an event. I was talking at it, and at the start of it, I said, "Everyone, give a round of applause to Petch at the jam session with Victor," and the whole room erupted.
There you go.
I give him as much as I can. Go on, Petch. What are your lessons?
Mine are more personal rather than business, but I'm sure they can be taken into business as well. I'm in the thick of it right now. I'm going through some crap in my own personal life, which I'm dealing with. First of all, shout out to you. I watched that session that you were just talking about there. I was on the treadmill, and then I had to like keep upping the time because I wanted to get to the end. Like I wanted to hear everything, and it's made me, given me courage to face what I'm going through now. So thank you so much for that. But I think a couple of lessons that I've learned this year. The first one being something that you've just been saying there in jest is I need to take a breath, is breathing. Like stopping and taking a breath and taking a deep breath. One, as actors, we go through breath work quite a lot when we're training because we have to learn how to hold our breath and how to use our breath as well as our voice to be able to portray the emotion and the words that it is that we are trying to convey to the audience. But we need to take that into our actual lives. I listened to Jeremy Renner's autobiography recently. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Who's that?
Jeremy Renner plays Hawkeye in the Avengers.
I don't know anything about this
He's an
world.
actor.
I know. I need to get into this Marvel. Is it Marvel?
Marvel.
He's a big Marvel fan.
Massive
I need to get involved.
But one Christmas, he took a snowplower out to try and clear the driveway of where his ranch is, and his nephew was there, and he hadn't stopped it properly, and the snowplower was heading straight for his nephew. And so Jeremy Renner had to make a decision there and then. Do I try and jump on this snowplow and change it, like stop it, or do I try and get my nephew out of the way? He tried to jump in, fell, and the snowplow went over him. Like he was.
Oh no!
He was this close to death. He died. He literally died.
God.
And all he kept saying to himself was, "I need to breathe. If I can breathe, I can stay alive. If I can breathe, I can stay alive. No matter how hard it is for me to breathe, I'm going to keep breathing." And there's nothing harder. There is stuff harder, but
He
you know,
died-
there's
he
nothing.
died or he didn't die?
He died.
His nephew?
No, he died. Jeremy Renner died.
How?
Like he died. Like
I'm sorry.
the paramedics came and he was classed as dead, and they like
They
he
revived him.
revived him.
Oh, but he's alive now.
He's alive now.
Oh, thank
It's-
God.
It's an autobiography.
Oh, wow.
It's an
I was
autobiography.
so confused.
Ross gets
Is he
very
alive?
emotionally
Is he not
invested.
alive?
Oh, thank God!
But took a dark turn on the Christmas episode then.
But his whole
Bloody
thing was,
hell.
I just
Nearly,
need to
he's pulled
keep-
it back.
I need to keep breathing. I need to keep breathing. And he takes that into every aspect of his life now. He's like, when I'm going through hard times, if I'm feeling anxious or whatever, if I can just take that breath and get through it. And I think that is one thing that I'm going to carry on going forward now, is just stop, breathe, assess where I'm at, and then move forward. So that is one massive lesson. And the second big lesson, again, through what I'm going through right now, is being comfortable in my own identity and who I am as a person. There are so many times in my life I can look back on where I have. Do you know what? I'm going to credit Jay Shetty for this, because I'm listening a lot to his On Purpose podcast at the moment. And he said, I dimmed my light for someone. It's like, I'm no longer dimming my light. I'm going to be comfortable in who I am, and I'm going to show up as authentically me in whatever aspect that is. And just be comfortable in my own situation. For example, I'm a vegan. People will go, well, don't you miss cheese? Don't you miss chocolate? Don't you bacon, protein deficiency? Like, you say you're a vegan, you're a leper. You say you don't like Christmas, you're a leper. You say you're teetotal, you're a leper. Just have one. Well, no. Like, I'm going to be comfortable in me and my own decisions, and I'm going to be authentically me and just live the way that I am. It doesn't stop you doing what you want to do, and I will fight for you to do and celebrate whatever you want, and that is absolutely fine. But for me, this is me, and there is place for me in this world as I am. And I am going to grow, and I am going to get better, and nothing is forever. But for right now, I'm perfectly fine with the way that I am, and yeah, I'm just going to continue on that path.
Go on, Petch.
That's beautiful.
My 2
yeah.
lessons.
I feel like the Greatest Showman. This is me.
Yeah.
On.
But it's true, and I love that as a concept, which is about seeing and having space for growth and evolution and always being open to learn and adapt, and at the same time knowing you are enough as you are, and it's not I'll be better, it's just I'll continue to learn and grow and develop. But actually being comfortable with who you are now is something I think we all struggle with.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really important thing to focus on, is going, it's not always trying to do personal development or set goals, because when we do that, then we'll be good enough, or then we can be loved, or whatever that end that sentence is. It's going, actually, I'm pretty fucking awesome as I am.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to grow.
This episode is sponsored by Laura Robson and Back Pocket Office. Now, let me tell you about this one. Laura is somebody you need in your life. I have got her in my life, and all I can say about her is I don't know how I'd live without her. And it's true. If you're anything like me, you will hate tech. You'll be great at launching and creating the marketing material and delivering on the actual product that you're selling. But when it comes to the back end, making sure it's all automated and it all works, I just can't be bothered. And if you're the same, Laura is the solution. Laura is a systems strategist, and she's also a certified launch and funnel specialist. And if you are a service provider, if you're a coach, consultant, any kind of online business that provides some kind of online service, then Laura is there to help sort out all your funnels and systems for you. With over 14 years experience, she's somebody who's going to get you solutions quick. She's easy to speak to, very approachable, and just really friendly and nice, basically. So if you are ready to get your systems and your funnels all sorted for you and work with one of the best in the business, go check out backpocketoffice.co.uk and connect with Laura on socials. The links are literally right below this episode in the show notes. Go click it, and I mean this. Go and do it now. You will not regret it.
Ross, you said you've got a lot of
I've
lessons.
got so many, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I've got. I want to give you some business because it's all about business, so I'll do that in a minute. But again, personal-wise, it can be summed up almost in a quote I heard from someone recently. Because I've really dialed in. You know, I've always been a little bit obsessed health-wise, so like I like to track stuff. So I like to see the science behind it. So when I'm tracking sleep, I need an Oura ring so I can actually see.
I'd never guessed that about you, Ross.
Right, so it's the control, isn't it? So I want to see how much deep sleep I've had. I want to see how much light sleep I've had. I want to see if I have a glass of Prosecco, how much that affects my deep sleep that night. I'm just fascinated by science, really. But so I've really dialed in on a different part of health this year. And someone said to me just a few weeks ago, I thought, God, that sums it up in one. They said, health is the crown only the ill can see. I thought, wow, it's so true, isn't it? Because you take it for granted that you're healthy until you're not. And then health is the crown. It's the only important thing to you. If you're not well, your business just doesn't mean anything, because you can't. How can you perform well in business if you don't have a healthy foundation? So I got a bit obsessed this year with getting a blood test every 3 months from a company called Thriver, not sponsored. But if you want to sponsor me, you can, because I'll really promote your work. And you just get this little thing on your arm. It fills a little vial of blood. You send it off, and you can choose what you want to measure. So I was like, right, a man over 40 now. What should I get measured? And it said, right, get your male hormone profile tested. We'll do your kidneys. We'll do your liver. We'll do all of these different things. And I was like, right, I got my first test done as like a baseline. I was like, right, well, I feel like I could do with more energy. Over 40, your testosterone levels drop. How can I, elevate my testosterone levels? How can I make my kidneys more efficient? All of this kind of stuff. And it's kind of like a gamification of health. So I put the PDF into ChatGPT and I was like, right, mate, how do I get these results up and more optimal? And he went, right, Ross, well, here's an entire nutrition plan for the year. And I stuck to it like so closely. And it's lovely food. I won't talk about it because it's non-vegan, but I'm sure there'll be a vegan version, right? And then I got my second blood test done, and the results had improved just a little bit. And I was like, right, I'm on the right track. And I threw it into ChatGPT, and I was like, right, how can I, improve this? Do I still carry on with what I'm doing? Do we need to change it up? And it was like, no, have faith in the process. Keep doing what you're doing, and here's what I'd expect on the next test. So 3 months later, I did it, and that's the one I've just got back. And the changes have been exponential. Like the in terms of percentage wise of improvements, we're up in like the 20-25% now across the board. And it basically gave me a health profile, male hormone health profile. It said basically, Ross, I think it's been nice because it's very agreeable in it. ChatGPT is very agreeable.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, and it was like, this is one of the most impressive improvements that I have seen. And it said basically, you've got a male hormone profile now of a 21-year-old. I thought, I'm 43, let's go.
Yeah.
So the lesson for me
I'm not sure.
I'm taking it, and I'll get another
My
one.
lesson
I'll
is
get another one.
don't trust ChatGPT.
Well, but you can't not trust the results though.
Yeah,
in terms of it's a laboratory test.
Yeah.
That's backed up by a GP. So one of the biggest lessons for me there, in terms of health is the true wealth. I've always said that, and it's something that you have to have if you're going to be successful in business. No one wants to be a rich, unhealthy, person who dies early or something like that. There's no point in building something fantastic if you can't live to enjoy it.
And can I say as well, we've just filmed an episode with a shout out to Sari, who was on this show, and as you all know, like the last question I always ask on this podcast is, what's your definition of success? I've never known anybody respond so instant and quickly. And this is someone who a year ago was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer.
Oh, wow.
And she said instantly, health. There wasn't even a slight breath. I barely said the word success, and she went health.
Yeah.
It's so quick.
It's so freaking important. So in terms of the lesson there is that you don't have to accept getting older comes with these ailments that everyone goes, oh, it's just a part of getting older. Bullshit. Take back control, but do it scientifically. Get the bloods done, get some help, whether it's ChatGPT or not, to help figure out a way to improve. Track it. Whatever you want to improve, you have to track it. You cannot improve unless you measure something, I believe. And that's across all business as well. If you don't know how many members are coming and going each month, how can you improve? You need to know these kind of stats. Same with your health. So I'm buzzing about that in terms of you can change your health. You can take autonomy of it. You can take control, but you've got to be really, really disciplined.
That's great.
So business-wise, that's the sort of health one. Business-wise, you know what? Just genuinely, I think is a really good tip, and what I've seen be really effective in a world of AI. So I'm going to flip now from going AI is amazing to the fact that I think there's a craving amongst humans, and I've seen it at the meetup today, for more human interaction. One thing that in our membership that's helped me grow those 90 members this month, above anything else, above email outreach, above getting great guests on, and the sexy nature of, I've got this really famous name coming on. The most effective strategy to grow my business over the last 2 months, 3 months in particular, has been human outreach. Me literally DMing personally, not auto, not ManyChat, DMing personally every member, every follower, on Instagram, on every platform. With a personal message from me, not from an assistant, not from, Petch could do it, he's a huge part of the business, he's got his own account for the business as well, but from me, kind of the face of it that people see, and then everyone who replies to that initial message, I follow up with, honestly, probably a minimum of 3-4 minute voice note, and I'll be doing them at 11 o'clock at night, 11:30 at night. The responses to that human reach in a world where everyone's AI'd out has been phenomenal, and people literally are being like, oh my God, I cannot thank you so much for, I can't thank you enough for reaching out. This sounds amazing. Ultimately, I definitely want to be part of it. And I've thought, oh God, right, let's get back to that rather than it all being about mass outreach on email, which is still important.
Whose idea was that, Ross?
Well, yeah,
You made him think it was his.
You had the idea, Petch, and then I ignored it, and then I thought about it 10 minutes later and told, I've got this idea, Petch, and you had to pretend that I
There we go.
that I was doing it. But the voice note, I don't think the voice note thing was something we discussed, but I just thought, for me,
You can't have that bit.
it's my eyes, mate. I can't be arsed writing. I can't see Instagram well enough. So I'm just like, I'll just voice note people. And one of the first things I say is, hey, Helen, it's Ross here. Just wanted to drop you a message. One, just because I think it's a bit easier. But two, I just want to let you know that none of this outreach is AI. Like, it's me. I'm real. Like, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the business and how I think I can help you after looking at your profile and seeing where you're at in your career. Because as actors, most people put their spotlight profile on their Instagram bio. I'll click on that. I'll see what work they've done. I'll see the last time they had a role on TV. And I'll genuinely be able to send them a message that actually relates to them. And they go, oh, holy shit, it's not a generic script. He's looked at my stuff.
Yeah, taking that extra time.
It's just caring again.
Yeah.
I said it all
makes
along.
A huge difference to feel seen.
Yeah.
As a human, and I think these days more than ever, to actually feel like somebody sees you and has taken the time to just acknowledge you, it makes such a massive difference, and we notice that in our community as well, don't we?
Just done it this last week, haven't we? With
we
our
have.
program,
We
Online
have.
Business Mastery. We won't do this again. This was stupid. This is a lesson. Don't do this. We give them 18 months support with a course that they buy. So with that means they're in a Facebook group, they're in a WhatsApp group, and they get a live Zoom every month for a year and a half. And we're like 8-9 months in, and we noticed the last couple of months the attendance has dropped massively. So between us and Helen literally voice noted every single person. There's like nearly 70 people on that course that hadn't been engaged on the last 2 calls, and we just it was the same as what you said, Petch. We just said, didn't we? Let's go door to door, so to speak, and just say, just want to check in. Is everything okay? Is there anything more we can do? Do you need any more support? And just like you say, being seen.
Yeah.
I mean, how many responses? We've got so much
unbelievable.
responses.
Yeah, just saying like, how are you getting on? Where are you at? Do you need any help? And the messages, and every single one of them was like, thank you so much for reaching out.
Especially, I just find if it's voice, send more voice
I
messages. Because people can
It's the
hear.
tone of voice.
Yeah,
isn't
they
it?
can
It's
hear
the
that you're
connection.
passionate, that you genuinely want to help.
And here's the other side of it. So I say this to clients as well, send voice notes. But I personally, and this is going to be controversial, not everybody will agree with this, don't do fucking videos. Jesus Christ. When you get a video on WhatsApp going, hi, Ross.
I've never had one.
Hi, Ross. I just thought of you. I'm like, fucking
No,
hell,
I've
this
never
is
had
so
one.
cringe
He
and
has.
salesy. You can
Yes,
see it on
I've shown him. I did it for him.
You
What?
did it.
Oh no, but I've never had one. I've never had one off a company.
No, but you've had one off me.
I've had one off Petch.
But what I mean is when a company reaches out, I just thought of you, and I just something
you
about
the
the
ick.
visual. I'm just like,
Yeah.
you're so salesy. Whereas a voice note, you can be, I don't know, it just feels you can hear the tone, you can hear the energy, and you can have somebody just say, listen, I know it's a bit weird, I'm reaching out to you, but here, I don't know, it's just a bit more genuine.
I think that was Monday I did that, and we had a Zoom call coming up on Wednesday, and like Matt said, the attendance had been down, and come Wednesday,
It's like tripled.
everyone turned up,
I think
and
what-
then they were all putting in the chat like,
So
I've
glad I
come because
turn up. Yeah.
blah, blah, and it was like just the difference that makes. And did it take a long time to send all those voice notes?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not scalable.
And then
It's 4
everybody
minutes ago.
replied back. So then I replied back, and then you're having a conversation with people. And it was my entire day. But was it an entire day well invested? Absolutely.
What I like about that is that you did that with current members that are going through a current course.
Yeah, not
What-
just to sell to people.
Exactly. I think as community manager, and I'm assuming you feel the same way, is that some members can feel once we're in,
Yep.
that is
Yeah.
it. We've
Yeah.
been captured, not captured, but we're,
Yeah.
we're in, and all they want to do now is bring in new members,
Yeah.
new members, which I'm totally behind. And I
Yeah,
think it's,
But you
it's-
have to do
you,
both.
You have to,
Yeah,
but you have to
100%.
just reach out to the current membership and go, you're still valued. We're still checking in
Yeah.
with you. We want to make sure you're all right, so that you can keep. Because if you're happy, you're going to tell other people as well.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Like, somebody said to me the other day, I don't feel that Act on This has a community, and I took that to heart, being community manager, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
the community is there, but you've got to engage in it.
Yeah.
You can't just come into it every now and again and ask a question and not take part in anything else.
Yeah.
You've got to answer other people's
That's a huge point.
questions.
Yeah, you've got, if you want to get the value, it's you've got to take responsibility. How are you engaging? How are you showing up? Are you making the most of it, right?
It's because there's so many ways people can interact. Because we have a 24/7 like forum. We do something called Rapid Fire Friday every other Friday, which is a video call people can jump onto. And I can see like with the weekly calls and all the other stuff we do in the networking and things, it can be a bit overwhelming, and people are a bit like, oh God, what do I get involved in? But it is down to people to kind of meet you halfway, and you can put all of this stuff on and you can invite people, but if they don't come and use it, they're not going to see the benefits. The same old thing. How many people in January are going to sign up for the gym and they're going to have their membership till June, and they won't have been once. It's like you've got to engage. And I think part of people not engaging sometimes is they sign up to so many things at once.
Yeah.
Cherry pick what are the things that you want to focus on, and then you'll be able to get use out of it. Because that's something that I'm guilty of having done. I've gone, oh right, here's a few things that have gone out on Black Friday. That might be good. I'll get that. That might be good. I'll get that. And then you find that the following year, 2 of the 3 things you bought, you've only used 1.
Yeah.
So I think it's just cherry picking, where the what your goals are right now and where the most.
Or
value
if you
is gonna
if
be.
you're me, you buy it again, not realizing you've already
bought it.
a year later.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you mine. So I'll start personal first. I want to shout out Nat McKenzie. We did an episode. She's a cognitive health expert, and we did an assessment. And turned out that some of my results suggested that there might be certain things I'm doing in my life that cause concern.
Oh yeah,
potential
tell us about this. Yeah.
cognitive decline. And I think what that did for me is just really bring to the forefront the very real cost of our decisions. And even if, for example, business for me this last year has just been the most incredible wild ride in which I'm genuinely enjoying this journey, there's still a cost to it, even just because you're enjoying it. That relentless work ethic, the risk that we're taking, that constant being on and in fight or flight to some degree.
Yeah, I felt that at times a lot.
Not being able to sleep properly because you can't fully switch your mind off, even if it's excitable energy and it's enjoyment. It's not all
He pulled an
negative.
all-nighter about a week ago.
Right.
And he was working through the night though. I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning. He's replying to forum posts to members at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. Like, fair enough, Petch.
Still made me work that day though, didn't it?
Oh, of course.
He had to lie in till 2 o'clock.
But and I want to be clear in this. There is an element of when you're building a business, it has to be like that. You can't expect, again, depends what your goals are. If you just want to make 20 quid a month and just have a bit of a hobby, it's totally different. If you want a substantial, successful, credible business that's achieving at a certain level, as the person founding that business and as the small team in those early days, there's no escaping that. And we have to be honest about that. I think there's too much smoke and mirrors, and you can be a millionaire in 6 weeks, all
No,
that
it's
kind
really
of
hard.
marketing. And it's just
it's
not the
horrible at
truth.
times.
When you actually speak to the people that are genuinely building legitimate businesses, they talk about the sleepless nights. They talk about the 7 days a week. They talk about the failed relationships, the cost, the consequence. So we have to be honest about that. And at the same time, we have to be mindful. As you said, health is the crown. And I think that would just really open my eyes to the potential risk I've put myself under. And truthfully, it's not huge changes that I need to make that can have a huge difference if they're done consistently. And so for me, I've just been more mindful about nutrition, not from a standpoint of physique or aesthetics, but genuinely what's fueling my brain, what's good for my heart health, what's good for longevity. So that has, in just recent weeks, become a massive focal point and I guess commitment moving forward that, this is important to me. I guess, you brought up my love life recently, Ross, on this show.
Yeah, I did. I mean, mine's just as shit as it was on
we
last
don't- yeah,
podcast,
we
but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for 2026. I mean, I like I said, if you're watching this on Christmas Day, Boxing Day, I don't know when you're putting this out.
He might be married. He's married by now.
Or if I'm not, I could be still by the end of 2025. I'm not married because I don't think I could book somewhere in. But I could meet someone on Christmas Eve under the mistletoe. Bit of, Cliff Richard.
The lesson is I think it's easy when you've had relationships that haven't worked out and you've invested a long time and so on. And as you're getting older, you can start to be resentful. You can start to feel quite negative, or as what I did this time, or as I did this time, just completely switch off from it and go, I'm not even focusing on it. I'm going all in on me and my business, which is what I also did. And then, as I said on the episode when you were last on, Ross, I was like, I maybe got to the point where I'm thinking maybe I'm just happier and better off on my own. But I've sort of, there's somebody been on the scene recently, and I'm just like, do you know what? To your point, really, which is never lose hope. I'm not saying like we know that she's going to be the one and I'll get married and have 75 kids. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is always remain open.
It's so important. Like, hope, if it's the last thing you've got, like that's all you need. Ultimately, yeah.
I'm struggling with that.
You've got, honestly.
And it's okay to struggle with it.
It is.
And to sit with it. And there's going to be days where it's tested and it's challenged. And that's normal. And that's where I was. I had that. But actually, what I've learned is don't completely give up on yourself. Always stay open, because it's so easy to get bitter.
And it's really important for the people around you as well to remind you of that as well. I heard Jordan Peterson say this, and I really, really believe in it. He says, you don't understand the impact. Because he pauses.
Yeah, come on, carry on the theme, do it like him.
So, what's really important about this is, ultimately, here's a quote for you, Harvey, you can click this. Don't underestimate.
Don't start talking to my Harvey like that.
Sorry.
Because he works with you now.
My Harvey. He's my Harvey
We
now.
don't talk to him like that.
Don't underestimate the power of a couple of words of encouragement. It can literally save people's lives in terms of, like, if people are struggling with that hope, just saying, hang in there, or like it could happen, or just a sentence of encouragement, whether it's in person or via DM or voice note.
There you go.
Can genuinely mean the world to people, because as I say, sometimes if that's all you've got, it is enough. It is enough. If you're struggling right now and you're in a place where you're like, oh my God, everything just feels hopeless, cling on to the tiny little bit you might have left, because it is all you need to get yourself going again. And it's really important to just encourage people. I hate it when we've had this, just to be totally honest, we've had actors come into our community who have had certain I don't know how to put this in a way that sounds kind, but like, some people would look at them and go, I don't know if they're ever gonna make it or whatever.
As an actor,
yeah, and I will
not in life.
champion the
They'll
hell.
still survive.
Yeah. In terms of, and I will champion the hell out of them, because I'm like, nobody should be able to say they're never going to do it. They're never going to do it. They're never going to do it. And people have almost accused me on occasion of going, and this sounds so awful. And it's not me. It's other people who've gone, why are you taking their money? They're never going to be a good actor. It's almost like
just
you're
writing them off.
Yeah, you're doing something bad by even letting them be part of your thing. And you know what I'm talking about. And that really riled me. And I was like, I'm going to champion this person who's the underdog, who you're thinking is never going to do it, and we're going to make sure that he does. And this person has booked a TV role very recently.
Oh, man, brilliant.
So a big part of me is just like, F you. Like, give the people who seem hopeless some hope, and they can do amazing things. Don't write people off.
Yeah. And I'll just quick fire give some business ones. So I think the big lessons for me this year in business has been, if you want to change your mindset, and in particular money mindset, you've got to surround yourself in the environment. So, I've got to shout out the retreat I went on in LA this year. We did our first kind of decent launch. I'd set a target, we hit that target, and I'd said, if I hit it, I'm gonna invest and go to LA. And it was the most life-changing thing that I've been to. This was
why? Tell me why.
This was on Lisa Johnson's retreat. It was a business retreat. It was only 3 days, and it was because of so it cost me nearly £10,000 to be there when you add up the flights, the accommodation, everything combined. And a lot of people, from Bradford, from where we're from, we go, what the bloody hell are you spending that on 3 days?
How many days? 3 days, okay.
But it's almost like if you never spend it, you'll never be able to make that sort of money in 3 days. When you invest that sort of money to be around those people that are also spending that, you get around different energy, different conversations, different outlooks. And most importantly, you see that they're no different from those people going, why the bloody hell have you spent it? They've chosen intentionally to make different decisions. It doesn't mean they're necessarily more talented or more intelligent or anything like that. They've chosen to surround themselves in that environment. And what I found was, I think quite often a lot of us have been brought up seeing wealthy people as bad people, or greedy people or whatever. And what I found was they were some of the most down-to-earth, funny, normal, unassuming people you could imagine to meet. And actually, I would say I've come away with some true friends from those 3 days. People I speak to daily, on WhatsApp and things like that. People who've been so giving, who've genuinely done everything they can to support me, to open doors, that have paid me money to work with me. And I'm talking thousands of pounds. And yet, for so many of us, we grow up thinking they're the greedy, evil ones.
I've been really lucky. I've never, but I've seen that so many times. And I've been on the receiving end of it as well, in terms of trolls and stuff like that in our industry, because there's a trope of actors that they have to struggle, they have to be poor, they romanticize it as in like, oh, an actor is all about their craft. And I'm like, no, so many actors are miserable because they're just not making the money they need to make in order to leave that job that's draining them of their life. So that's all we do. So this is teach people how to earn money from their career. But it is like it's a dirty word, but I'll talk about it till the cows come home because
And we should.
it's
We have
game
to.
changing. And if you don't want all the money you're making, I say this all the time as well, it's a phenomenal thing to accumulate and have because of the good you can do with it. You know,
Correct.
since having a business and earning money, you know, I use my mum as an example. You know, my mum had a reaction, I'm sure it was, without getting political, to one of the jabs we were all made to have, and ended up with myocarditis, a swelling of the heart sac. And rather than having to wait 7 weeks for the NHS to give her an ECG, I could get her in through money with a private consultant 2 days later, and it was all cleared up by the Monday. Whereas 7 weeks of worry could have made a heart condition worse.
Correct.
So if you don't want the money because you think it's greedy, spend it on people you love or give it away.
And
I
that's
also
be one of the. Go on.
Sorry, I just want to. I know I've been harsh on Ross throughout this podcast, but I do want
Thanks,
to. I
Petch.
do. You know, I need to put him in his place.
Make it up
every
to him
now and
before we
again.
finish.
But I do want to like shout him out for this because this is just a testament to the guy that he is. When my mum passed away, like I was working at the cinema and I couldn't work because I had a month to sort the funeral out, sort my mum out, sort her house out and everything. And Ross stepped up to the plate and made sure that I was financially okay. Straight after that, he hired me full time. During COVID, when everybody else was being furloughed or being let off, he kept me on. We were down at the point, like I found out afterwards that we were like 2 weeks away from
6 weeks. We were
6
6
weeks
weeks
away
from
from
losing
closing.
the business. Yeah.
but he kept me on. When my nephew died by suicide, he made me take all the time off that I needed and supported me financially. Didn't once ask me to work if I couldn't do it, and throughout everything that I'm going through now. So, as much of a stickler he is,
Got
You
your
know,
back,
he's-
Petch.
He's a good guy.
But he's a
Still,
good
still didn't
guy.
move the pixel, though, did you?
Yeah,
Still
still
didn't
moving
move
the
the
pixel.
but it's that again, money. Do you know what I mean? Like Ross, you're not like the most giving guy when it comes to gifts or other things like that.
Yeah. I will give money over actually. It's the thoughtfulness that I need to get better at. I
Okay.
understand this. Petch is really
That's it.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
So he'll buy me a present for my birthday or something that he's thought about. He'll like this, or it'll be something to do with an experience I've had. Like
Yeah. He'll remember something. And
I don't know. It's not I'm not compassionate. I'm super compassionate, but I would just go, here's 500 quid. Like, have a bonus or something like that, as opposed
Me
to
and you
like,
are similar like that.
Yeah.
And Helen's good for, because I think you're really good at thinking about things a little bit
Yeah.
more. And we need that. Like, that's a
Yeah.
good balance, I think.
But it's
yeah,
interesting
he's
how
got
like
a good
you're
thoughtfulness.
vegan, I'm vegetarian. Like we've both got similar personality traits that that then kind of complement your
I
personalities.
was thinking the exact same
Yeah.
thing on your last call when you went, "What's your
Yeah.
superpower?" And you went, "I'm empathetic." And I
Empathetic.
was like,
Yeah.
I'm the empathetic one out
Yeah.
of both of us.
Yeah. I'm practical, very pragmatic, and almost sort of like,
Straight to the solution.
yeah. And I know, and I don't want to change because I don't think this is necessarily like it's not a bad thing. But I've said to you on occasion, I know sometimes that people have been going through stuff and they want me to sit in the mud with them. And it's maybe a coping mechanism that I have because I won't allow myself to sit in the mud in my own life. That it's almost sort of like I want to get to a solution as quick as possible. I know with stuff that's going on in your life, you probably won't come to me for necessarily the compassionate, I'll sit with you on this. I'll instantly want to fix it for you.
I tried once. I'll never do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But your mate Johnny, you can probably go and sit with. And so it's...
But that's the same with me. We're similar like that.
I think
And
you need both types
You,
in your
you
life.
do, and that's it's about identifying who those people are that you need in your life and not expecting any one person to serve all your needs.
Yeah.
And that's for all your relationships,
100%.
full stop, isn't it? You know, I'm the same as Ross. Don't come to me with your problems. Come with the solutions. That is how
Or
I...
come with the
And
problem,
I don't
but
want to
expect
change
us
that
to
either.
find a
Solutions,
solution
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. But I don't want to change either because, and it's not like I don't want to change, but it's like I don't see it as that's a really bad thing. It's actually a strength.
Yeah.
It's just that you might not be ready to have that yet. So then speak to somebody else first, as an example. So yeah. So yeah,
cheers,
I think
It's uncancelled.
that was nice. No, but
Yes.
I think that is important that people hear that other side, and that's the thing about money and money mindset that I think I kind of knew and thought, but I really experienced this year. I've really been around more, multimillionaires, millionaires, than ever this year. And I think it's just been a massive eye opener. And it also, one thing I will say, this might be deemed as controversial or whatever, but I think if you really want to sell a higher ticket and charge more, you have to start investing more, because that's where your perception of money and worth drastically changes. And I've purposely done that with us. So like when we've been traveling, when we've been doing long days, I've made sure we've both been going first class. We've both gone to really nice
Don't tell him
hotels.
that.
Excuse me?
Bloody hell, Petch.
But because when you're spending thousands of pounds on just accommodation, whatever, it makes you value. Hang on, we should be charging more for what we give and what we do. And I think it's a weird one to explain if you've not done it. But the biggest thing that levels up money mindset, I think, is having the courage to invest in the bigger things. So I think that's a big thing. I mean, there's so much I could say about this year, but I think that's been a big thing. I think one thing I want to touch upon briefly is your perception of the outcome is very rarely the same as the reality. So we did our biggest launches we've ever done. We did a mastermind launch. We've done over £100,000 in the last few weeks. We did a course launch that did 42,000. We did another launch that did nearly 30,000 a few weeks after it. Like these moments that I thought would just be like, life will be so fucking easy if you can do 40 grand in a couple of weeks and
It's
100.
not though, is it?
What I experienced was a whole new wave of responsibility and fear when we did those launches. I just thought, we got 40. I was like, suddenly, these people have invested this money. I have to really deliver.
Yeah, because the weekend the transactions are made, you're buzzing, and then it's like, oh no, it's not over on the Monday. It starts on the Monday.
And I
Yeah.
felt that on a whole different level
Yeah.
this year, multiple times, to the point where I had major imposter syndrome, if you want to call it that. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And the other thing is, you don't get all the money in one go.
Yep.
And the other thing is, you realise how much tax to pay.
VAT,
and the other thing
tax.
is stripe fees and all.
Yep.
So it's just, which then again feeds into that money mindset of actually, I thought this would be a load of money, and it's not that much money in reality.
I think that's been an eye opener for you in terms of and I think until people own a business or work in a business, they'll see us doing launches and like you, they'll go, oh, well, they just made 100 grand today.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. After I've given my 55 grand away to the government, I'll be left with less than half of that, and then that's before I've taken all the other stuff out that I need. So. Yeah, the whole perception of business, I think, just the whole country needs more education on it, and then there'd be way more compassion for businesses, and I don't think there'd be the whole, you've got to always tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich, because you'd realise actually how much goes into those people's businesses to make them perceivedly rich,
and the
but they're not
years
that
where
rich.
they're not making like minimum wage to build it.
Pay themselves at all, and then even when you perceive them as rich, the amount of tax they're paying on that top line is humongous. So we need to, I just feel we need to grow this country through really promoting business and putting business on a pedestal, putting growth on a pedestal, rewarding people for taking those risks, not punishing them, and just taxing and taxing and taxing and taxing, because it's really hard. The more money my business can make, the more I can serve the membership, the more I can pay you, the more I could pay someone else to come on board, the more bonuses you can give out. You're all paying tax on that, which means the government's getting more by helping me grow. Until you run something like that, you don't realise that top line that you think, oh, my problems will be done. I've earned all this money. You haven't, because you're giving half of it away, literally half of it. You're giving
And
away.
you've got more expectations on you, and you've got more judgment, and you've got more people wanting you to see you fail, and you've got more people that you need to now be responsible to and drive results and help and support. And so that's been a huge eye-opener. What we're going to have to do is really quick fire, because we need to finish because of time. But just to finish today's special, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode, a little bit different. And again, there was no real plan, so hopefully throughout all the messiness,
Will people be eating
there's
the Christmas
been
dinner
something.
watching
I don't
this?
know. I'm not sure. You're
Hope
asking
you are.
too much, but if you are, I hope it was lovely.
Merry Christmas.
But just if everyone wants to give a really quick fire one, like what is your promise for 2026? What is your thing that you are determined to make sure happens?
I know it already for us.
Right, go.
You'll probably know what I'm going to say, Petch. For the last 20... How long have I been doing this for, Petch? 15 years at least. We have solely been a business that serves customers, so B2C in the business world, what it's called. From next year, without boring you all about how we're going to do it, we will be a B2B company as well. So
Yep.
we will serve business to business. And I think that will absolutely change the game for us as a business. We've been talking about it for years.
Yep.
Who's been talking about
You?
it for years? Thank you.
I'll give him, yeah, and you know, my brother, shout out to Stu, if you ever watch this. My God, he was talking about doing this 10 years ago. He's very business-minded, my brother. He got a right steal. He basically he's like Dragon's Den, a little bit of insight here. He lent me 800 quid to set this business up 15 years ago for 20% of the company.
Jesus Christ.
Not going to go into it, but it makes me sad. He's done all right. He's done all right out of it. And I'm a man of my word. You know, family over business. I'm not going to fall out with him over that. Family comes first. So
I think you need to renegotiate, though.
yeah, I need to bring that down 2%. But yeah, what was I saying?
Going business to business.
Business to business. Yeah. So I just feel that we can educate actors in institutions where there is none of the work that we do, and it will change the game because we'll be able to sell volume licenses. And also really sort of like help those businesses promote what they do. I'm talking about universities, let's be honest. Promote what they do by putting their prospectus that they're giving the business to the business coaching from the biggest names in the industry. And that's something that I've
which is
wanted to
missing.
do for ages. It's hugely missing. I graduated in 2005 and it's still 15 years later not happening. So I'm excited about that. And we're doing a planning day on Monday and we are moving things. We're taking money off the table in order to force us to do this thing because we're not going to do launches we would have done in order to make space for this, which means we have to do it. Otherwise, we're going to be in decline.
Petch.
I think for me, because Ross is in control of the business, I'm going to let him deal with all that. Personally, though, I think next year I'm going to say yes a lot more. I know there's a big thing about protecting your no, and I think that's really, really valuable. But I think coming out of the relationship that I've just come out of, I've noticed that I've distanced myself from a lot of people and from a lot of opportunities and a lot of experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm finding it hard now to re-enter the world where I'm inviting people to do things, but because I will have probably said no to them in the past, they're
Right.
like, I'm too busy now, or they've moved on and got other friends and whatever. I'm just a Billy Nomads. So I think I'm just going to open up and say yes to more experiences. And if that's me doing things on my own, instead of for fear not doing it, like going to the cinema on my own, going to an art museum on my own, going to a restaurant on my own, I've never done that. But like I'm excited for that. So yeah, it's just saying yes to me and yes to more experiences.
And that, just to add to that, it's really important. One thing I would tell myself if I was giving
You can't
myself...
let me have anything. can you?
So-
This is Petch's
I
point,
know,
Ross.
you just inspired me, Petch. So one thing I would say to myself whilst doing all this business to business and stuff and, you know, and building the business next year, something I wish I'd have said to myself at the start of this year is, Ross, don't forget to live. Because I don't feel over the last 12 months that I've remembered that. And I have just focused on the work. Like I said, we've had to work harder than ever to stand still. And I don't think I've allowed myself to live. So my advice is 2026, don't forget to live and don't skip legs day. There you go. It's very
And I
important.
just want to say as well, because what you said there about the saying yes and also protecting the no, I personally believe they're seasonal. So sometimes say yes to everything. This year, to some degree, when it comes to visibility, I've said yes to everything. I've been at every event I can get to.
Yeah, you have.
Like I've just said yes. Next year, I'll protect the no. Next year, I'm going to be way more selective about what I say yes to. But it served me in this season.
Yeah.
In a different way, protecting no will serve me in next season. So I think that's a seasonal choice and intention. Helen, what's
H.
your big promise?
So, first one is to establish a new identity, because I feel like I'm identifying with a self that doesn't resonate anymore. And I'm still kind of like
Like it's been a transitional.
the self, but like the view of myself is still, it's outdated now, because it's like I don't feel like I think big enough because I'm capable of way more than I believe that I am.
Yeah.
So I think that's got to be one. And the other one is quite like you. It's say yes to more things, do more things, live more, and be present. I think that's something I really want to do more of next year. Instead of always being in my head, I want to be more present. So it's quite a lot of things, really.
No, but it's really important, and I think really that would be mine to finish on. Is it kind of encompasses to a degree part of what you've all said there, which is that really building this business is about the journey.
Try and enjoy
It's
that.
about the
Yeah.
process. It's not about the outcomes. And if you're going to go for a massive launch or changing things up and going business to business now, it's about what does that journey look like and how does it feel within it. It's not about the outcome. It's not about the money. It's none of those things. It's, are we enjoying the journey to achieving that outcome? That is where life happens. It's not in outcomes. And I think I've kind of been learning that the last few years, but no more than recently. I think that's something really important. And I think that's a great message to leave on and to sort of offer to everybody as you go into 2026. And if you've not set your goals, or if you're setting goals or whatever, really question why you're setting those goals. You know, is it because you think the outcome will complete you? Or, you know, like I said there about launches, what I thought would be, this is me now, I've done 40 grand in a week or whatever it was actually a whole different thing. So it's about who are you becoming in the pursuit of those goals? How does it feel? Do you enjoy that journey? Are you enjoying that growth? And that's not to say that everything's easy. That, you know, there'll be challenges in there, but are there challenges that are worthwhile? Is the pursuit of it worth
It's
it?
that, and it's don't set goals that aren't your own. It's so easy to set goals that other people want. They hear Matt talking about that launch. Well, if he's a business coach and he did that, I must do that within my business. Don't set goals that you truly don't want just because you think it's the thing that you should
be
do.
doing. Yeah.
No, you've really got to be brave enough to go, I'm happy with my business the way it is, maybe because it does, you know, I earn X amount of money and I spend, you know, every night with my wife and my children or my partner or whatever, and I get to go on holiday. Don't feel that I have to set a goal now to triple my business just because other people are doing that and now I have no time for my family. Set goals that you really want, because I know I've fallen for that. I hear other people, when I first started out in business, I hear people about these launches. I need a 6-figure launch, I need this figure launch and all this sort of stuff. You don't, unless you really want it. Like, do what you genuinely want to do, because life is just so freaking short. We said this last night, didn't we? It's genuinely too short to just be doing stuff that you're not really enjoying to impress people you don't even really like.
But you know what it is for me? I've realised I absolutely fucking love playing big. I love scary goals. I love the pursuit of bigger impact, going for a £500,000 launch. Again, not because of how it'll feel on the day, but because of the journey. I love playing the game of business. And that's who I am. That's what I enjoy. So I'm now setting those big goals with absolute clarity on why. And that's the difference.
And you're going to enjoy going for them.
Not every day. Some
You have a
days will be
meltdown
shit.
week, it's fine.
We'll have the odd day. But you're absolutely right. Yeah. And we've spoke a lot about this. And if you've not checked out our vlog, we talk about it on the behind the scenes stuff where we're questioning things. But ultimately, and there is a sacrifice and there is a consequence and there is a cost. But no life is perfect. And it's also being okay with that and making sure that things are weighted in your favour. And actually, for me to go for smaller goals or do less, certainly in this season in my life,
Yeah, you're in
I won't be living true
exactly.
to
It'd be
me.
very different if you were with a partner and you had a newborn baby.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be going for your
Correct.
biggest event ever. You wouldn't be,
Yeah.
you know, it would be like, right, how do I, you know, spend time and be present here?
Right. But in this season right now, this is what makes me feel like the best version of myself. So equally, going big is right for me right now.
Keep doing
And
it.
that's what
Keep
I'm gonna
putting the
do.
content out, because then at 11 o'clock at night, I'll feel
Okay,
precious
and
and
then
put
you'll
one more
go big.
post out before bed.
There we go. Ross, Petch, Helen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here. And to everyone listening, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Christmas, whatever you may be doing. And we'll see you on the next episode. Shall we do it in 3, 2, 1?
Bye
for now.